Ladies and gentlemen, isang lumalagablab na linggo para sa inyo as we welcome you back dito sa ikalawang laro ng third week of the Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term. Kami po yung magiging shotcaster. Ako po si Shinbu with a 1, 4, and I. And of course, with me is Atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, you just came in from Game 1, a fight between Adamson University versus University of Caloocan City. And that game, no? What happened in that game?
Okay, I think that game was a very good showcase of what 7.4.
No? Oh, 7.4.
Yeah, 7.4.
Okay.
How it changed the way people should build assassins and AD carries, bruisers, and tanks.
Okay.
And I think that was also a showcase of how Adamson was able to adapt more than UCC there. Because looking at the game at first, everyone was kind of apprehensive. Very, very slow game. Not a lot of kills. But when people started skirmishing and team fighting, it seemed like Adamson was able to adapt more. They were able to change the way they behaved more. On the other hand, UCC, while still having a very good showing, they weren't able to adapt to how the items are supposed to be built now.
Yes. Specifying yung sinabi mga manifestation ng 7.4 dito, of course, Mawakay getting removed here now.
Yeah,
it's like 7.4 saying goodbye na.
Especially
to Mawakay.
And a lot of other pure tanks.
Syempre, makikita na natin dyan is that Rumble's gonna be taking up the throne in the top lane. And of course, ayun nga, kanina, damage dealt to champions on
33,000.
Dazai. Crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, hindi lang po yun, syempre, ang nanalo. Hindi lang ADU. Syempre, isang summoner po ang nanalo kanina para sa ating Search and Win trivia question. And that summoner is gonna be Eldrid Caberto. Isang college student. The question that he answered would be, sino yung nag-fail flash kanina na champion? And that is sinong player pala, and that is ADU Dazai on that Rumble.
Ironically, siya din yata. I believe he was the MVP for that match there.
MVP with a fail flash.
Yeah, the objective control with the equalizer, with the sustained damage coming from the shock lances as well as a flame spitter. That was super impactful to how Adu got their win.
Yeah, ngayon pa lamang din kasi napipick up talaga si Rumble. It's good bisa na yung familiarity ng mga players natin on the Rumble in the top lane, especially over the past weeks na laging Mawakay nakikita natin sa top lane. Dalawa lang naman yan so far, which is Mawakay and Rumble, but this time, Rumble na yan.
Yeah, Rumble is going to be king.
At kung sino pa man ang steadily makakaakyat mula dito sa patch 7.4 natin. Course. Now, for our schedule, sa ating ikalawang laro, muli, Adamson University, Penguin Authority. This time, makakalaban nila.
Ito ang Technological University of the Philippines.
Yes.
Sic Parvis Magna.
Sic Parvis Magna, what is that, man?
Yeah, it's Latin, which I think is the, like, pag ayaw na ng English or Tagalog, yung language na pupunta nila ay Latin. And this is Latin for great things come from small things. It's like, you know, everyone, even if you start small, there's lots of potential in them. I think that's what they're trying to tell us.
And if I'm not mistaken, ikalawang team na yata to. I'm not so sure kung Latin yung, I apologize to you dun sa University of UP. UP Los Baños, Honor at Excellence, equates to Honor at Excellence. So
now it's,
naman,
I think,
Latin,
Excelsior.
No? Latin meta on the handles, the team names natin.
Yeah, before, last term, Salvaxinari, all those other Latin names. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm really happy kasi Latin, hindi natin madalas na-encounter yan. I'm just curious, walang team na nag-adapt ng Japanese name. Like, kunyari, let's say...
Baka sabing weeaboo na sila eh.
Siguro, kunyari, let's say, Manila University Arigatanks, mga ganon. Or Sumimachine, ganon.
Sumimachine.
Alam mo yun, mas mamahalin ng community natin siguro. Yung mga ganong pangalan. And of course, huwag na natin patagalin to. Let's get into the drafting phase. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Adamson University, Penguin Authority, what a nice name. Of course, Penguin cute, tas Authority heavy. And TUP, Technological University of the Philippines, Manila, of course, Sic Parvis Magna. Great things comes from small things.
Yeah, and looking at it so far in our 6-ban system for the LCL, Adu does not want to face that Jace. It was very, very strong, able to, even with the lethality item changes, still very, very oppressive in the mid lane or top lane there. Ivern, of course, very, very annoying as a champion. And you don't want to give karma to someone who knows how to use karma.
Yeah, lots of utility to be removed.
Lots of utility. And of course, TUP, knowing the power of that Rumble, take it away as well. Also taking away Jiss's assassins, the LeBlanc and the Zed will be out of the fight here for this match.
Yeah.
But it still seems like that Adamson wants that Tom Kench for the safety for their carries.
Ganda nung setups kanina ng Tom Kench.
With the Abyssal Voyage, just setting up all the
delivering
camps for Orf. Very, very spicy delivery there.
Then opened up with Jin's curtain call. Textbook. No? Textbook approach talaga.
It seems like both of these teams are already giving away the information they have on their bot lane.
Early pickups.
Yeah, actually very good response here from both teams.
Yeah.
They find that they have a Tom Kench in the support, definitely, so they respond with their Caitlyn and their Janna here for a very defensive laning phase.
We do know that Tom Kench struggles from long-range champions.
From long-range poke.
Na, like, very, very long-range champions talaga na hindi. Do take note that Caitlyn's range outranges Tom Kench tank lash.
And in the response here, Adamson actually picks up the Varus. The Varus here, so they don't give too much information on their draft to TUP, and they add that another powerful mid laner, the Syndra.
Not gonna go for the Jhin. You know, at least you still deal that consistent damage with your Q without having to stay static compared to the Jin's
piercing arrow.
No. The Jhin ultimate, of
the
course.
Curtain call,
of course. So, ang options nito, ginawa ngayon dito ng Adamson University, knowing there are squishes here at a range, you can burst champions using the Syndra naman.
And on the other hand, though, Sick Parvis Magna, it seems like they will want to go for a more utility-focused mid laner with Bomb 10B, sorry, picking up that Orianna. And the jungler here will be the Hecarim. Still very, very powerful, very scary bruiser here with initiation coming from the onslaught of shadows.
It's been a while,
It's been a while.
Since I saw Hecarim.
But when we see Hecarim in these YouTube videos, you see those race car sound effects, and then boom, 80 carry is gone.
Yeah, non-tank build Hecarim. So one hit Hecarim builds. A Hecarim build that utilizes utility, but my opinion still tells me na Hecarim should still be built a bit tanky, you know? Because it scales really well with his W, of course, yung sustain niya. Plus, the more tanky you are, the more window na pwede ka makapaglagay ng rampage mo.
Yep.
Yeah, with your Qs.
And on the side of Adu, though, they will still be picking up the Maokai here. Even with despite the nerfs, despite the changes to masteries and all, I think they do want some of that in tankiness to protect their AD carry and their mid lane here, GC.
We'll see kung gaano ka-punishing yung ano dito, yung 7.4 dito with
interesting then
Maokai.
Yung Lee Sin.
Okay.
Lots of pressure in the early game. Might even be probably is better at matching the Hecarim when it comes to if he wants to counter jungle. The Hecarim will have a hard time dueling at the very early stage of the game. But later, Hecarim I think has the advantage. But,
because Lee Sin falls off in the late game.
Lee Sin falls off in the late game, and in the later levels, Hecarim will do a lot more damage in an extended duel against Lee Sin.
And in terms of setup, napaka-crucial nung binibigay niya na ultimate in terms kasama na rin yung kanyang devastating charge, of course. I'm just looking forward ano yung setup na plano ngayon dito ng Penguin Authority. Compared kanina, you're gonna deliver Rengar in the back line, right? And open up with a curtain call. This time, mas maikli yung range. It's just the corrupted chains, of course, of this Varus. And I'm curious kung what would be the effect of delivering the Lee Sin, if it's the Lee Sin that you're gonna bring in the back line. As well on the matchup in the top lane, Maokai versus Trundle, we do know that Maokai's laning pace has been nerfed heavily right now, and we do know that for the top lane, in terms of laning, Trundle is a very strong champion. Diba? You just need that Tiamat, and you're very much set.
Just keep shoving that Maokai into the lane.
You just shove the Maokai into the lane.
An interesting thing here for this matchup. It seems like our teams might go for a very early fight here if no one wards this side bush in the mid lane, but it seemed like they just want to back away for now. But interesting here, the changes to the top lane here, because Maokai has a higher mana cost on his Arcane Smash.
Yes.
It will be an easier time to shove him once he gets the Tiamat. Once he gets the Hydra. It's going to be harder for Dazai here to push back.
If this has been a Poppy, pwede pa sana. Kaya pa, no? Pero I believe kung Trundle, yun lang kailangan. Tiamat lang. And all set na to. Ang laking spike na yun. Especially, yun nga, this Maokai. It would, like, what, magdo-double Doran's ring just so you could mitigate that nerf, that 7.4. I'm not so sure talaga right now.
Delaying your tank items as well.
Yeah, based on champions GG, Maokai is the least improved champion right now.
Yep.
Lowering the ranks by 41 ranks. Grabe,
wow,
binagsak
that's a huge change there. And we're going to see actually how all of this manifests into the game.
Yeah, observing PGS final week in the regular season this Friday. Na-conclude no bans on Maokai, man.
Yeah, it's just they're no longer afraid of that.
So
and even with no bans on the Maokai, no one picking up the Nautilus as well, these tanks don't deal as much damage, and they shouldn't deal that much damage. It seems like it's normal. All of it has normalized here.
Yeah.
We're going to see the manifestations of that and the reactions of our players picking up this Maokai and a Trundle into that Maokai as well. We're going to see. I'm really interested though. What you notice with me is what position, what players should we watch for? And I always say the junglers.
Yes, of course.
And yeah, because Orf had a lot of pressure. Realized that, okay, Rengar might not be as good early.
Yeah.
So let's power farm to 5 and to 6, and then gank after that. I'm interested to see what he does on this Lee Sin, and also interested in what Chan 10B uses this, how he uses his Hecarim to pressure, to initiate these team fights, and just be a very, very powerful bruiser. I'm going to see how, because they control the pace of the match.
Yes, but again, as we mentioned Garena, despite us criticizing the Maokai, do take note that the team that is holding this Maokai is Adamson University. Cannot be denied that is on the upper level netong Metro West Conference natin. Do take note, a quick history lesson is that Adamson University was previously handled by the team, represented by the team Apple White. But all that thought, there's going to be an engagement in the top lane. Aseja not accounting here that Lise is going to be arriving. But clearly, that's the 7.4 manifesting itself. Maokai losing the trade-up, the 1v1 with the Trundle. That is not because of the mana nerf, but because of the sapling nerf.
Yep, no damage on the landing anymore.
No damage on the landing.
So the trading is a lot harder for Maokai here, and it actually manifests in Asadia just taking him out, even as he flashes away the DOT, the damage over time, and the minions just destroy him. And actually,
that is the corrupting potion.
Orf actually tries to go, gets the trade kill, but Chan just race carring straight into that lane.
So,
all that damage. So, yeah, very good for TUP. The first blood plus another kill on top of that.
That's the big problem. Look at how confident Asedia is right now. That first blood that he was able to secure. Okay, Call. So talagang, this is one meta kasi if you get ahead, minsan iniisip mo, di ba Call dapat early pinipick up yun? Kasi parang passive
so you
item
can
siya.
bank the charges?
Pero actually, if you get ahead, you can double the price ng pagkalabang mo if you pick up the Call.
Because you're in a better position to CS. Since you're ahead, you have that little bit of room to buy the Call, and it really pays off.
Really pays off. Some players forget na ang iba iniisip that Call would just give a bonus gold at the end. There's also a bonus gold every minion na
for
napapatay
every minion
mo.
you kill in that 100 span of 100 minions.
So malaki talaga yung gold advantage na nakukuha kapag may Call ka. And especially if that Call is just a bonus item because of an early kill.
And look at this. Dazai is just is so fearful of being even going near his own minion wave here, because he's gonna die to the pillar's gonna slow him down.
The wave clear is very hard there. Yung landing damage, nakita mo yung damage nung sapling.
Wala na eh.
Oo man.
Yung explosion na lang. Plus the arcane smash mana has been increased.
I understand here. As we mentioned earlier, double Doran's ring, diba? Just to offset that 7.4 nerf. Pero I think that won't be enough.
That won't be enough.
Especially in front of Trundle. Look at that, the CS lead here. 18
almost
against
twice.
33, almost twice. There might even be a no camp from the end of the red side team, but rather on the blue side team. And just like that, that guy is the Maokai.
Yeah, Trundle just bullying. Asadia here just bullying Dazai here.
I think it would be a different story kung Rumble ulit sana to, or a different champion. Just a different
the Rumble was bad. Ooh.
Okay, now in the mid lane, there's going to be an embrace here on GZ. GZ managed to stand away the mid laner of TUP, so we still stick at 1-3.
Yeah, very good scatter the weak there. Stunning both Bam there, and also pushing away Chan, keeps him safe there, but has to burn his summoner spells for that. It's very, very dangerous. It seems like Chan is not done yet with his ganking spree.
The blasting cone would be in the position to go for the blank. There is a devour. Delivers Simon into a safe spot. Piercing arrow to Miss Ian. 10B.
Still. It's just a devastating charge in trade for a flash.
Yep.
So that is actually huge, and if he opts for it, Shan can just keep going straight into this bot lane, coming from circling around behind the Dragon Pit.
Yeah.
He can just keep doing that.
And actually, Chan has all the freedom to visit the bot lane and the mid lane just because top lane is already
because
checked.
top lane is already a very, very difficult matchup for Dazai.
44 against 26.
Yeah, 44 against 26. The
LCS.
XP is there, and Acedia, as soon as he comes back here, will have the subjugate ready for Dazai
Got
if
the
he even
Tiamat as
tries to fight. So
Picking up the early Tiamat.
Yeah,
early
Tiamat
proc on
as
the
well.
call. Oh my god.
Damn. So he's just going to go straight for all of these minions here.
We're seeing the mid game here, man.
Yeah.
We're seeing
Mid-game
the
at
monster
7.
in the mid game. This Trundle.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big problem, really. It would heavily fall the responsibility ay babagsak ng malaki papunta kay Simon. Dito to deal damage and even Orp really to play around this Trundle in should ever the instance happen na magkaroon tayo ng teleport plays dito sa either mid lane or bottom lane.
Yeah, Simon actually might be making the same mistake as UCC from last game in building the tier of the goddess first. Of course, it's very useful for the mana sustain.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you and of course Caitlyn and Janna very defensive. You might have room for the tier of the goddess, but once those teleport plays come, once Chan starts ganking the bot lane, it's gonna be very hard to fight back.
Yeah,
when you only have tier of the goddess.
You're aiming for the long game when you're building tier of the goddess, pero you might want to gamble for the early game ngayon, especially with the threat of this rumble.
Yeah, just teleporting down there.
Yeah, you need as much damage as possible. Ganito sa phase na to na, well, actually kita na yung lamang, pero at least hindi ganun ka kita pa pagdating sa bottom lane o kapag nagsama-sama itong dalawang team na to.
Oh man, it's so hard for Dazai to last hit all of the minions because yun nga, wala nang landing damage sa sapling. That small amount of damage he could have gotten on those range minions.
The thing about there is why we're discussing the mid lane as well. The top lane as well, look at that, under third kill by Aseja on Dazai. And again, kasi yung ibang lanes talaga, safe lanes yan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Syndra versus Oriana, it was gonna be a farm lane, except if there's gonna be a visit from the jungler. Set up all in the hands of Technological University, Sick Harvey's Magna.
That was so clean here.
Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, all in combo, no defensive itemizations from Acedia. Orf is gonna punish him 2-5. Second kill in the hands of Penguin's Authority.
Yeah, and that's going to be that was very clean in the mid lane there. Just going the mix of the crowd control.
Yeah, plus the E.
The onslaught of shadows into the devastating charge. And right at the end of the knockback of the devastating charge, the shockwave is there to finish out and the kill there. And that was very clean. So that was very good, clean communication there. It seems like Chan is not stopping in his rampage.
And the big problem here is that by design, the composition here of Penguin Authority is aggressive. And right now, with this kind of deficit, medyo risky yun. And they don't want to pull off that kind of risk. And even their main damage dealer, half of it, Varus, pick up a conservative itemization. Tier of the Goddess.
Yeah, so it's very, very difficult.
Even if these two teams group up, I could bet na mas makakalamang pa rin dito ang Sick Power Beast Magna.
Yeah, definitely with their very, very powerful mid top lane and jungler.
Right now, also the itemizations. Look at that. There's a very big difference in terms of damage pagdating dito sa dalawang ADC ngayon.
Serrated Dirk versus the BF Sword. That's actually huge, even considering the lethality. It's just way too strong if they ever get into an upfront fight.
Because you could add the Janna Shield on top of that damage.
Course.
That's the problem about this
Eye of the
Caitlyn.
Storm is just going to ruin players with ruin these champions with their auto attacks.
And I think when the fight breaks out in this mid game, there's not enough tankiness in the hands of this Maokai. This time, round 2 for this ADU mid laner. GC will be saying GG for now here in the 10-minute mark of the game.
No need for the shockwave even there. Just the straight up Thunderlords plus the damage from the Rampage and the Onslaught of Shadows is enough. And Dazai, even near his turret, is having such a hard time here. And Orf is not been able to help him out after that initial gank.
It really falls on Orf right now to anticipate at least the gank here, counter gank against this Hecarim. Because ADU would really want to step up their game for this one na i-predict nila kung saan papasok yung TUP. Because right now, TUP is in the position to be aggressive like this one in top lane. Here we go. Asej is going to be tanking 2 turret hits, maybe more. And Dazai will feel the wrath of this Hecarim under turn though. And that's how it is done. Dazai steps up with a passive. It's 2 kills instantly in the hands of Penguins Authority. Bam would be late for the party.
Yeah, and I thought that, okay,
he gets spotted by the vision. There's movement speed available for GC. Not gonna release it though, so yep.
That's gonna be, I thought Orf, I was thinking, okay, Orf has the right idea, but he might be too late.
Yeah.
But of course, nothing was changed about Maokai's sustain in a fight.
Yep.
He just has less, it's just less sustainable because of the mana costs, but the sustain is still there, and that actually keeps him alive in
And
the
to give
tower
an idea,
diving.
guys, Maokai's tankiness is not nerf.
Yeah,
It's only the laning.
It's just
only
the laning.
It's only his clearing, which is very important really
But
for
but the sustain is still there when he actually is able to fight back with his spells.
And with that kind of dive, the itemizations here of Chan, it's not defensive.
Yeah.
When that dive was done. Okay. Hindi
Going
pa buo yung Bami Cinder nung ginawa niya yon. There's actually an early pickup of the Shin.
Yeah, going straight for magic damage here, and we saw that manifest in the gank against GC.
Yep.
But against Dazai there, with the health, with the armor, being able to block off a lot of the damage from the rampage, from the devastating charge, and heals him up with his passive. That just spells disaster, giving away 2 kills actually,
Now,
and a little bit of a catch-up.
Okay, this is gonna be enough. So delaying any first core item, rather it would be a component of the Gauntlet, if I'm not mistaken, and the Bami Cinder. So there's a wave clear now. Here for Maokai because of that immolation.
He's compensating for the
landing damage,
for the landing damage and the increased mana cost of the
yeah.
Arcane Smash. So the Bami Cinder and then building it into the Iceborne Gauntlet is the Frozen Fist is actually very, very good. Chan might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yup, Sonic Wave connecting. Will there be any resonation?
Too fast, too furious.
Yes, of course, and you don't want any shockwave. You know, face checking a shockwave on top of a Hecarim. That's, you know, by design, could be the second tank here for TUP. Now, going back to the top lane, now we are back on the original Maokai na. In this phase of the game, 13-minute mark.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Just going straight for it, surviving the laning, very, very behind, almost 40.
That's the thing.
But the longer the game goes, I think he'll be able to normalize.
Yeah, get back. Oh, normalize.
But still, that's the lead coming for Senia here was so
Randall
big.
Is it's not just more than an early game champion. He actually has a very big presence in terms of the late game. Lots of fallback signal here in this bottle lane, and Varus doing good work. Simon here connecting the piercing arrows to the bottom duo here of TUP. Cadenza step onto a trap. Okay, there's gonna be the minions. I'm not sure if the tankless was used to clear the minions for the sustain of Varus, but clearly the bottom duo of the Penguin Authority has been punished there.
Yeah, Mise N almost died there, but I think that was the itemization coming from Simone.
Yep.
Simone that didn't get the kill there. Going for the Tear of the Goddess.
Yeah.
And then
had
going
it been
for
a lethality item quickly.
Yeah, had it been the Yomus na siya, I think they would have been able to get the kill. Orf here gets the Cloud Drake and not a very spotlight dragon here, because neither of these teams really want a Cloud Drake. They want the Mountain, they want the Infernal. The Cloud Drake movement speed is useful, but it wasn't the focus for these two teams.
Now, what I think of it, I think understandable na rin yung Tear of the Goddess dito kay Varus. We know that Tear of the Goddess is a core item for Varus, but kung kailan mo rin siya ipipick up, because right now the running meta would be to rush the Yunmus talaga. But, you know, with the nerf on Yunmus, maybe, right?
I did say that rushing Yomus is no longer always the correct option.
Kanina, Jace actually rushed the Edge of the Night. Now in the top lane, there's going to be full combo all in onto Dazai. Subjugate plus the Ice Pillar. Clearly, this Maokai has no escape. But will the turret save him? TUP won't hesitate in flashing in. Asedia allows the kill to be given onto Chan here. Left out, Asedia the Trundle gets popped and clapped on by Orp. Also by GC.
So that's a 1-for-1 trade of both of these top laners. But yeah, Orf able to get there in time for the cleanup. But I don't think he's had always had the time to counter gank on point. Like, he's not there at the split second that Chan is there.
It's always just a 1-1.
Yeah, and we saw earlier that he was able to help Dazai get those 2 kills in the top lane. But that was relying a lot on Dazai's own tankiness and not the timing of Orf. So very big shift here and Orf's pressure, but
The
okay.
interesting part here is that Azedia actually prolonged the laning phase here.
Mhm.
He's in the position to actually push push fast.
Yeah, push fast,
But
use
right
his
now,
teleport.
16 minutes into the game and we're not seeing any turret
Yeah,
damage here.
even with TUP's huge advantage there coming from the top lane, I think they missed a lot of opportunities in the early game to teleport down, get those team fights in the bot side of the jungle.
I agree.
But I think it's only
Okay, Chan with a face check here, but right now the Lee Sin kick has been nerfed. That is around a few patches ago, so you can see how Orb is punished here by the Hecarim. But here comes the rest of the members of Adamson University. Multi-target Shockwave removes this Hecarim, though the Tam Gage does that, and the rest of the members, Adamson University, Penguin Authority, limping in near and clearing up two members here of Sigparvis Magna. Now let's see, it's gonna be a 3v4, ladies and gentlemen, and Azedia won't be tanky enough for the rampage here of 4 members of Adamson University. A lot of fallback signal once again, and Adamson University, the authority, ladies and gentlemen, calling it quits. 8-8 in our scoreboard.
Yeah, 8-8 actually, and I think that was an overstay, an overcommit from TUP there in that fight, trying to go for all of those low health, sobrang lapit na namamatay na members from Adu.
Yeah.
But they end up just being turned, the tables get turned, and they get 3
I think what happened was
kills.
almost a 4v2
Yeah.
in theory doon sa mid lane na yun.
But yeah, that was a little bit of overconfidence there, and I think TUP. Let's look at the replay here, and yes, whoa.
It was a 4v2. It was a 4v2.
Looking at the rush here, the 4v2, they get a lot of damage on them using the orb here. Acedia tries to go in, but they have the front line there. Dazai is there, Cadenza is there, not able to push through, and yeah, they keep going.
Oh no, Azedia.
Yeah, Acedia keeps going, but now the burst coming from these champions, taking the toll on them. I don't think they have any more time, any more damage there to follow up on those low health
And
members.
that's around 7 Dark Spears available for that ultimate of GC.
That is a lot.
Clearly not respecting Azedia there. Azedia has no visage there during that time as well. Not even the cowl completed. So talagang aaray siya sa ultimate na yun.
And I think if that fight happened earlier, while Dazai did not have any opportunity to tank. Actually, first turret going to TUP, lots of gold, but overall not as game-changing as before. It's still very good. It's still first blood.
Just because of that mid lane clash, the first blood start, it's gonna be nice, really. That 300 on top of the lead na meron na itong ating
Yes, a Triforce ready there.
Of course. Now, in the mid lane, gonna be the Shockwave, not fully channeled here. GC is gonna be embraced here by Chan. One final kick won't be enough to stab this Hecarim. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, the lick of the Stamp Kids, and the ultimate of Simone removes the jungler here of Sig. Parvis Magna, only Azedia is the one standing in the wake of 4 members of Adamson University. The Penguins, ladies and gentlemen, showing authority and removing, ignoring the lead here of Azedia.
And yeah, it seems like the TUP is making the same mistakes as UCC from last game, is that when they're fighting the composition drafted here by Adamson University, Penguin Authority, they're not sticking as a team.
Yeah, not as a team. That is the word.
Yeah.
Paisa-isa, man.
Because last time it was Adu, even if they didn't have, before they had their lead, it was pretty even.
Yeah.
But because TUP, when the fight starts, they're not together as a unit. That's when the fight goes in the favor of Adamson University, and they take the momentum there and keep going forward. The gold lead here is still in TUP's side.
Yeah, you can see how fast the response are coming in this bottom lane of Adamson.
But if the behavior continues that they don't fight as one, that they fight these 5v4s, 5v3s, and then magsusubukan mag-clean up ng dalawang natira, it's not going to be pretty for them, even with the lead that Acedia and Chan had built up.
Especially kung merong Lee Sin na available, you're just going to be disrupted.
Because now Orf has 4-2 and 3 compared to 3-3 and 3.
Yeah.
And that's actually a big change coming from earlier, where Orf didn't seem like he was having a lot of pressure, didn't seem to have on-time counter ganks.
Yep.
But it seems now when the skirmishes are starting, TUP is kind of fumbling a bit.
And to take note that Adamson University are fully utilizing their win conditions right now. That Cloud Drake na una nilang nakuha really opened up and allowed them to respond on these fights on this river side.
Yeah.
For the most part, laging dito nagaganap. Ladies and gents, and muli, Adamson University, the main aggressor here. Where is the Monsoon? Will that be enough? Nav one will be walking to the tri-brush, but the front line of Adamson University is just too much. Phantom, Penguin Authority, na merong time catch palaka. Mukhang hindi talaga ito mapapahinto ng TUP, and that's gonna be a Cloud Drake.
Another Cloud Drake plus 2 kills. And yeah, that is a divided TUP there. Focusing, I don't think they should focus too much on the Cloud Drake. Even if it's super useful with a movement speed, I don't think it's a high priority for them to try and take. I think they should have gone for either a push in the mid or top lane. But trying to face check that, you lose your bot lane there. And this opens up more. And di ba Hito si Tamkench?
Oh,
Hito. Yeah.
Tama, Hito.
Yeah.
Hito. Iba pala yung palaka.
Si Fizz pa yung palaka.
Hindi ko alam yung fish na yun, kung palaka talaga yun.
There's a fish person. I have no idea. But in any case,
parang ano lang yun, batang malaki ang ngiti.
batang may tentacle sa ulo. But in any case, yeah, that's the way that Adu has been winning the games today.
Yeah, as an icebreaker lang, I'm still banking on that my requested merchandise. Yung sleeping bag na Tamkench. Yeah, it's really one really nice concept na sinasuggest ko na, you know, $1 million idea.
Yeah, sleeping bag Tamkench.
Yung bunga nga niya, isushoot ka dun sa loob. Tapos isasara mo pag matutulog ka na.
Tapos paggising mo, nasa ibang lugar ka na.
Visal mo.
It's like, ba't ako nandito sa Quezon City?
Feel ko cute yun. Feel ko cute yun. Ayan. Or kung hindi, sleeping bag na Kog'Maw, diba?
Pwede rin. Because Kog'Maw eats actually, a lot of the Void champions are very food related, like Kha'Zix. Kog'Maw likes eating, Cho'Gath likes feasting, Kha'Zix likes consuming his prey. But let's get back on track here in the game.
So, status of this game right now, again, because of the prolonged laning phase, we are just about to enter the mid-game, 23-minute mark, okay? And this is the part where turrets are going one by one and where skirmishes and team fights matter. But the thing here is that it's only the other half. Adamson University, Penguin Authority, seems they're the only one who has the mindset of doing team fights. Yeah,
and they've been doing team fights as a unit here, as a cohesive unit. They don't take fights where they're outnumbered, and that's how they're getting all these skirmishes. Even with a gold lead not in their favor, it seems like the way they play in the mid game will give them the advantage coming into the later minutes of the game. But we'll see how TUP, if they get their unit together, because it doesn't matter if you have 5 fingers if they don't coordinate as a hand.
Well,
and we're gonna see here.
As an update though, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. This might be the engage that Adamson University may want. Sonic Wave resonating strike, flash in, final kick, flash out, and that's gonna foil the plans of Orb. Shockwave still completed, and Orb will go down. And of course, the rest of the members of AD, you cannot really follow up from that engage. Jungler in the hands of TUP.
Yeah, and actually that was almost a super great engage here, and this actually opens up the bot lane.
Okay, the ultimate of Varus not connecting, but of course you can see here that the Maka is to be delivered here in this bottom lane, and that's how Cadenza does it. The Abyssal Voyage plays, ladies and gentlemen, while we are lap up here in the mid lane outer turret. As you can see that GC gets embraced by the 3 members of TUP, kills on different parts of the map. Still, it doesn't stop. The chase is on Cadenza, and Ascend is willing to take up that fight. Devour will foil his plans. He got 2 Lobster stacks. Here comes the Hecarim. Cancels his engage. Back in the front line. Twisted advance and a piercing arrow opens up for the kill with Cadenza securing that one. 3 for 1 so far.
That was actually 3 for 2.
3 for 2, oh my god.
And at the final, that should have been 2 for 2 plus a turret for TUP, but they overcommitted. They weren't respecting the way that Cadenza can just save any of the champions here on the side of Adu. And that actually... I was thinking, okay, this is going to be a trade here. TUP will get the upper hand because of the tower, but they still try to go forward. They could have just walked back up here. Looking at the replay, they dive GC here. The Zhonya's keeps him alive for a little longer, but of course that won't be enough. They will stick onto him. And here, they had a choice. They could have just backed away here. One low member, and Cadenza here, Dazai there.
2 tanks in the front line, and the Varus in the back line.
Overconfident, but the heal was up.
Yeah.
And of course, the Devourer was up. So that actually, they dive too deep. Chan also tries to dive way too deep, but pays the price for it.
Actually, the mistake there, Chan can actually catch the Varus.
Yeah. He
That's my
actually,
guess.
yeah, I was gonna
Pero
think,
kinancel niya yung engage.
yeah,
Matras.
he just went for Cadenza,
Yeah.
and I believe he had the Ghost there, and he had the devastating charge going. I think then Simone does not have any options of escape, so I think he just to equalize the kill there, he
I'm
should
not sure
have
if
just
it's a
went for it.
misclick na ipabalik niya yung devastating charge. Because if it's a decision, I think that's a waste.
Yeah, that's a huge waste there. And still, the gold lead onto TUP, but the pressure, the way they play,
And
Adu is really...
again, this is it, Cadenza. All you need to do is deliver the Maokai. Cadenza is very willing to complete the devour. Giving in a Seja to instant advance. Full lockdown with Simone as the DPS. Do take note, there's also the burst from the ultimate of this Maokai. The subjugate won't be enough against 4 members of Adamson University. Or present idea. There's the Baron initiated on by they're going so low. There's still the Janna. Will there be a Monsoon? Sonic Wave. Resonating strike.
So slow.
Gets upset. May go for Jungler versus Jungler. Delays the Baron. They're gonna be in the position to take this one. And yes, they will. As Simone will gonna be offsetting that one with a bottom lane inner turret.
Yeah, and they just focused way too much on the bot lane
Okay,
there.
so he's not, he cannot, because of the empowered recall, of course.
Yeah, and that means they have to trade one kill, and then one of their lives for the Baron there. And I don't think that was worth it. I think that's a little bit of a tunnel vision coming from Adu to go for that objective plus the kill. And that actually opens up the Infernal Drake, which is huge for TUP here.
They have a very nice combat stat here for this Infernal Drake, and they've even managed to secure that Reef Scuttler. Put in the first embrace on the Infernal Drake. It's very likely that the odds of this Infernal Drake going to the hands of TUP is 100%. And there we go. First Infernal Drake against 2 Cloud Drake. TUP bags in that one.
Yeah, very good decision there from TUP to just go for the Baron there. And they might actually be getting their axe together. And they're starting to shot call properly. If this continues, if they can actually siege very well. Eye of the Storm onto the Caitlyn here, onto Navi here. And he can just shred these towers. And with the frontlining Acedia and Chan, I think they have a good chance here if they continue the kind of decision making that got them this Baron.
Right now you could see that Navi is gonna be prioritizing a QSS. After that QSS, a shred item would be required, and this is pretty much a textbook win na for TUP.
Yeah, if
Kasi
they keep
manlalambot
going.
yung Maokai na yan para kay Caitlyn. That's the thing. All you need is just to protect the Caitlyn. You have a Janna, one of the most effective enchanters in the game. And that's the thing. There's a lot of divers din kasi para sa TUP. And I believe for this situation, a Hecarim plus Trundle going into the front line compared to a Maokai na Lee Sin, I lean more on the former.
It seems like Acedia might be in a little bit of trouble though.
Like this one, let's see how fast will this Maokai go down. All in on the Shockwave Devour, and good guy Tamket's gonna be putting their top lane on the safety, but they have no more tank. Rather gonna rely on the support. Lots of fallback signal here in Redemption for the sustain, and we have, it's a reset of the fight. Okay, battle still in the hands of TUP.
It seems like they are now starting to fight as a team now, and we can see the manifestation of that Adu's having a much harder time matching the fighting power from this composition if they are fighting as a whole. Because right now, even if Cadenza saves GC or saves Simone, that's still 3 seconds or less of no DPS coming from Adu here. So that allows Navi and Bomb to just go straight into with these damages.
There are lots of freedom for Hecarim, Chan here to really dive Simon. As you mentioned that na kahit ma-devour yan, that's DPS removed. That's DPS removed.
So it's really, really hard now since now the TUP is starting to fight as a team. Probably because the Baron buff also gives them a morale boost. It's like, we have the wave, we can fight as a whole. But after that...
How could something so ugly make you feel so happy, no? Parang Andrew Ino.
Come on, man. Buff. But yeah, if they continue fighting 5v5s, I think they will have the advantage over Adu. Because earlier, it was Adu, I thought Adu was getting such a huge advantage because of the way they've been playing team fights.
There we go. So we're going to be seeing build path to the Dominic's Regards here by Nav1. But still, one win condition here for Adamson University. Penguin Authority not yet out of the table. A burst on Caitlyn, a burst on the Oriana. It would be nice. Do take note, wala pang Zonia's Arglas dito si Bam. So the option to land a full combo there by GC on this mid laner of TUP is still open. So that's one.
I think now that TUP is fighting as a 5-man, that Adu has to work a lot harder to get the fights that they've been winning in these past few minutes.
I'd suggest a strategy of divide and conquer.
Yeah, divide and conquer. Earlier, they were doing 5v3s, 5v4s, and they were taking them easy. But now that TUP is able to fight 4v4s with one split pushing, I think divide and conquer, you're right, is the way they're supposed to react to this kind of adaptation.
But not this kind of divide and conquer na trundle yung split push because you really don't want to go for the trundle. Right now, you'd be required to send multiple members just to deal with the trundle. But there's enough wave clear on this Maokai. That's why I'm just not sure if when the subjugate is on, will Aseju be able to tower dive this Maokai? That's the big question. He got a Guardian Angel pa. Oh my god.
Yeah, the big question here is when Aseju goes for Dazai, how will the rest of Adu react? Because that's important here.
For the 4v4 scenario, no?
Because definitely Dazai is going to straight up lose against Aseju at this point of the game in terms of a 1v1 there in the bot lane or top lane in the split push lanes. So it's going to be up to how they react to this. And it seems like they're sending two people here to continue pressuring the bot lane. But what else is Adu doing?
Okay, so this is going to be a 3v2 scenario. Abyssal Voyage there by Cadenza. Only to ward off members here of the TUP. Only no combo to Nav. One final kill. Will that be enough? The slow from the Jana. Zonia's Arglas. No response from any of the teammates. Managed to burst the Caitlyn. That's worth it. 1-1.
He got baited by the redemption there.
Okay, so the fight continues on without any ADC in the hands of TUP. No mid laner here for Adamson University. Which one is heavier? Let's see. A kick from the Lee Sin. Simone has all the DPS, has all the feats that he needs. These two tanks won't be a problem for the Penguin Authority. They're gonna back away. That is the TUP team. Oh my god.
Yeah, and they spent a lot there on trying to kill Jissy in the top lane there. In the mid lane, they went for anher fight, but they didn't have the kind of damage that they needed without Nav1.
Without Nav1 as well.
And Bomb just got bursted down there, so it's very, very difficult after that. It seems like momentum again back in the hands of Adu until Nav1 gets
this
here.
Is not good. Okay, putting the Devour. Again, all you need is to put Simon at a good distance. That's what you'd want if you are ADU.
It seems like Infernal Drake, both of these teams will be wanting this for the damage boost.
Yeah, there's a ping to go in on this Infernal Drake. Orb's going to be prioritizing the control ward. I think TUP is going to take this fight. There is the vision, ladies and gentlemen. 3 against 2. It's only the Caitlyn. Will they commit? No, they won't. They're going to give it. One Infernal Drake in the hands of ADU.
And that's actually going to help ADU continue these skirmishes that they want to take. Not full-on 5v5 team fights because it's still so hard unless they take out Nav1 and Bomb immediately. So that's going to be their game plan. And Orf here, if he can get a good insect kick, it will actually turn the tides entirely against TUP. But TUP still has a very good 5v5 composition here.
But they've secured provision on this Baron side of the map. That's the big problem here. You could see how ADU, how they are capable to think ahead compared to TUP.
Yeah.
Kanina kasi ang malaking mistake talaga na nangyari is that the 2v1 in essence was won by GC there. Exchange it for a 1-for-1, removes the Caitlyn, and that's where how ADU react. They know that without the Caitlyn, they're poised to win that fight. And now, things are really tricky. TUP learned their lesson that they need the Caitlyn.
Yep.
For this fight.
So it's a very adaptable play from TUP here. But the vision coming from ADU on this Baron pit will actually help them out. But they can't force it yet. They can't force it because an Onslaught of Shadows plus Shockwave coming from TUP will absolutely destroy them. So now it's going to be a little tango here on the top side jungle, trying to gain control over this Baron pit's heart.
So this Baron, I think it's anybody's game, really.
if either of these teams gets Baron, it's going to be really tricky for other team to protect their turrets, their objectives from their damage output, from their sieging, because both of these teams I think are very capable of sieging or tower diving in the case of ADU here.
I think they're planning for the setup. They have an idea of where the Lee Sin will go. Lots of pings in the reverse side. Ladies and gents, will this be the pincer maneuver? Do take note that ADU has won their previous games. Won their previous game with an instant pincer.
But it seems like no, it's gonna take a step back.
But this is so bad. What is Oriana doing here?
Ooh.
Okay. I had that Maokai decided to go for an engage.
It might have been very, very dangerous, but of course, Maokai with the changes.
Knows that he cannot withstand the damage of Caitlyn preheating him.
Yeah, just the tank can't 1v1 the Caitlyn anymore, I think.
This is a orb box. Tansyahan talaga yung nagaganap natin ngayon. Like right now, if there's gonna be someone who'll be allowed to split push, it is given it's gonna be the Trundle. You send the Maokai there. We have a 4-1 configuration. Rest of the members will be sent in the top lane. And it's a matter of time. As you mentioned, we go back to the same discussion. How will the other team react should ever multiple members are sent to the one who is split pushing?
Yeah, but it seems like it might be too dangerous to focus on either Dazai or Asidi here because the Baron is up once again. So it will be very dangerous here. So if ever a fight breaks out here in the bot lane, they will converge around the Baron pit trying to take advantage of that. And then once that happens, it's going to be the top laners teleporting to that side of the Baron pit. So it's a really, really intricate dance here. Very spicy tango coming from Adamson University and Technological University of the Philippines, Manila. It seems like they will stay here a little bit for a little more sieging because they do have the option here to siege. They have Infernal Drake for a little bit of more damage for that wave clear and that poke. They have Piercing Arrow. They have Scatter the Weak to just and the Dragon's Rage to just kick away and push away any of these interlopers.
A battle of mental attrition.
Yeah, it's a battle of it's a battle of mental attrition.
Everyone
here.
has wave clear.
Yeah.
Everyone has secured vision. Everyone will recall para i-refresh yung kanilang vision. Seriously, anyone who initiate would be in a position to lose.
This is a very, very ballroom dance thing going on here. Is that you take a step forward, I take a step back, you spin me around. And it seems like TUP right now is...
That's very detailed, by the way.
Yeah, it's very detailed. It seems like both of the teams, the decision-making will be as detailed as that part of the dance. Because you can't just initiate willy-nilly and hope you win. You have to take the right decision here. Playing around his Baron, it seems like TUP is taking a step forward here.
They know Abyssal Void is still available. Not gonna need that as Cadence is gonna be leading the front line in the flank position. There is the Lee Sin. DPS comes in from the Baron. Nav1 is trapped on the Baron pit. Sonic Wave connects. Do they have the vision? GC here is trapped by Ascension. They don't have any Syndra. And the mid laner of Adamson University is lost. TUP decides to fight. Puts in a sustain from the Monsoon. 1v1 from Simone and Chan. Chan wins that one. 3 members gone from Adamson University. And TUP might be looking to close this game. There's going to be the Shockwave not connecting onto anyone. Orb will be running for his life. Redemption. And Pilar for the eyes. For the slow in the back line. There is Dazai. The last man standing here for Adamson University is going to be Orb. Will be able to defend his base. Yes, he will against the minions. But it's going to be the Baron for TUP.
And that was so good from TUP. And when we were looking at that fight, Nav1 was at like quarter HP, and when we were seeing them spin that fight around in their favor, he was already at full health because of the heals that he got from the Monsoon and everything. This allowed them to take that fight to them, to Adu here, and then clean up, because Adu at that time was the team that was divided, trying to go for multiple entrances into the Baron pit, and they just get focused on each of their carries had the attention of GC. There's gonna be a 1v1 here between Asidi and GC, and of course not enough to take that out. Chan gets Simone, while the rest of their teams clean up the rest of the non-DPS coming from Adu, and that was just divide and conquer from TUP.
From TUP, yes. They have damage for the damage. TUP has the damage, seriously, for this one.
They stole Adamson's win condition there. And now it seems that they will transition that to a fight here in the Elder Drake.
Despite TUP being the first one on the battlefield, the problem there is that wala si Trundle doon. And Trundle is one of the best form of isolation on
Yeah.
key members here.
It seems like
of Adamson
it's
University.
another one of those LCL games where the team focuses too much on the Syndra and they throw because of it.
Everyone's dancing for this Elder Drake,
Yeah,
ladies
it
and
seems like the
gentlemen.
Elder Drake.
Sapling toss, there is the signal. Regeneration comes in from the Elder Drake as everything is reset. Shockwave of
Oh.
3 members of Adamson University. Soon for the sustain.
Oh.
And GC is going to be saying GG once again. You can see the Maokai is gone. Tamkach is gone. Or for the chase. Ace in the hold just for the damage. A Sedgeman chase as well. Elder Drake in the hands of TUP.
Oh.
And you could see that there are only 2 members remaining from ADU. The authority has been denied. And you could see that Sig, Parvis, Magna, small things become the great things. And you could see that they're going to finish this game.
Seems like with these death timers over 40 seconds and with only Simone trying to fight away these Baron buff plus Elder Drake buff. And here comes the search and win link.
Okay.
Just type that down really quickly and answer the trivia question and you will get a mystery gift if you are the first within a few working days. It seems like TUP
Yeah,
here
that
is
timer
going to
still
take
marks
that.
on 15 seconds. Of course, you could just go all in for Simon and allow Seja for tanking the 2 Nexus turrets. The first Nexus turret says goodbye, make that the second as well. And ladies and gentlemen, putting the badge, Mastery 7-6 now won, and the rest of the members of SIG, Parvis Magna, secures the victory against Adamson University. Wow, it's a very, very convincing win. It's because, you know, I feel like Adamson University has a more superior approach in terms of mechanics
Yes.
and execution and play style, and even in decision making, really. But I think there is that composition-wise.
Yeah,
I'd say,
composition
on that phase of the game.
And the way that TUP adapted to the situations there, they're very empirical in the way that they do things. Okay, this doesn't work, so let's not do this in the next team fight. Okay, that doesn't work again. Let's pay mind to that in the next team fight. And seeing Adu divide and conquer them earlier in the game, they take that information. Okay, let's try dividing and conquer them. We seem to have the better team composition for dividing and conquering. We have the Caitlyn, and then in the end, GC was pulled away. Simone was also isolated by Chan, and that just gave them the buffs and the power to just the momentum to just get the game.
And in
that
my
was
opinion,
a coup d'etat coming from TUP.
in my opinion, Dazi still played well.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
it's just the 7.4 bears heavy for a Maokai.
And look at Simone, almost 34,000, but
yeah.
still very, very difficult with this kind of composition that has the Maokai and the Lee Sin falls off in terms of the damage and the tankiness as well.
And the problem was on the late game. The late game was like easily open up for the Trundle. That's the thing. Maokai still serves his job as a tank in the late game, of course. So there's really no problem there. But it's just that on that late game talaga, bihirang-bihira ka makakahanap ng options against a Trundle that is fed. Trundle bags in 3 early kills in that game. Just because of the laning phase, of that prolonged laning
even
phase.
though the power plateaued in coming into later, even if the laning phase was extended.
Pag yung late game phase na, hindi naman na si Maokai tsaka si Trundle yung maglalaban eh.
Yeah, it's gonna be the entire teams there.
The entire team. And Trundle, he doesn't even need to tank really. He just isolate a member because Caitlyn was left out to
Chan?
to provide sustained damage for tanks. Now, tanks' inherent weaknesses are sustained damage. Also mentioning that in terms of laning phase talaga, this is like a win lane, win game scenario where it's a Maokai, of course, the nerfs on him, and of course there's Caitlyn as well. Not really a strong pick, but because of the starting item of the Varus, there is the Tear of the Goddess.
I think the way to graph the power levels here coming from TUP is a valley. Is that they started off relatively well in the early game. Mid lane, they kind of plateaued because they didn't take advantage of their advantage. But later in the game, they just scaled straight upwards compared to Adu there. And that was very well played.
It's about the
very
pace.
adaptive.
From both ends of the map, consistency. Consistency lang yung ginawa. Yung mid lane, it's a pretty even. Halos pantay lang. It's a battle of mechanics talaga and you don't expect anyone to die there unless there's a mistake to be done. Actually, mad props there for the heck, Karim.
Yes.
He was the one who's
Very
always been setting
aggressive,
up
very pressure.
Yeah, for
a lot of pressure coming from the jungle rather.
Orphs did a good job as well, but always just to
Just a few
mitigate,
seconds late.
to mitigate that
Damage
aggression
control.
of damage control lang yung nangyari. Hindi talaga to lead.
It's like the thing with medicine, it's better to prevent than to cure.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And he was the cure during that time.
Yeah.
He was just a cure during that time. Ladies and gentlemen, biggest congratulations for Adamson University. That's still a 1-1 for this episode, for the stream episode. Do take note na may laban pa rin po, syempre, ang Technological University of the Philippines. This time, we're gonna be seeing Sig Parvis Magna facing up a very strong team, FEU.
IT,
Yes.
Tamarars.
Information Technology, Tamarars, diba?
Yeah.
Nice name na, Tamarars, diba? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what a nice game that is. That's gonna be the game 2 of today's episode. We still have game 3, and of course, nakita nyo rin kanina yung ating search and win trivia. Yung link natin papunta doon sa trivia. Mamaya, announce po natin yung aming winners. Ladies and gentlemen, kami po yung naging shoutcasters for that game. I am Shinbu with a 1 for an I. And of course, with me is Atlas. This is the 3rd week of the Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term, and we'll be right back for the 3rd game. We'll be walking to the drive rush, but the front line of Adamson University is just too much. Phantom at Penguin Authority na merong Tamkage palaka on Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, flash in, final kick, flash out, and that's gonna foil the plans of Orb. Shockwave still completed, and Orb will go down. Here that the Maka is gonna be delivered here in this bottom lane, and that's how Cadenza available. Not gonna hit that as Cadenza is gonna be leading the front line in the flag position. There is the Lee Sin. DPS comes in from the Baron. Now ball is trapped on the Baron pit. Sonic Wave connects. Do they have the vision? GC here is trapped by Ascension. They don't have any Syndra. And the mid laner of Adamson University is lost. TUP decided to fight. Puts in a sustain from the Monsoon. 1v1 from Simone and Chan. Chan wins that one. 3 members gone from Adamson University. And TUP might be looking close this game. Look at that. There's going to be the Shockwave not connecting onto anyone. Or will be running for his life. Redemption. And Pilar for the ice. For the slow in the back line. There is Dazai. The last man standing here for Adamson University. Regeneration comes in from the Elder because everything is reset. Shockwave on 3 members of Adamson University. Monsoon for the sustain. And Jesus is gonna be saying GG once again. You can see the Maoka is gone. Tamkage is gone. Or for the chase. Ace in the hold just for the damage. Ascension for the chase as well. Elder drinking the hands of TUP. And you can see that there are only 2 members remaining from ADU. The authority has been denied. And you can see that Sig, Parvis, Magna, small things become the great things.
Elder Drake buff, and here comes the search and win lane. Just type that down really quickly and answer the trivia question, and you will get a mystery gift if you are the first within a few working days. It seems like
yeah, that timer still marks on 15 seconds. Of course, you could just go all in for Simon and allow Senja for tanking the 2 Nexus turrets. The first Nexus turret says goodbye, make that the second as well. And ladies and gentlemen, putting the badge, Mastery 76 now won, and the rest of the members of Sig Parvis Magna secures the victory against Adamson University.